And to talk about all things baseball, we're joined by Daniel G. Kelly, Academic Director and Graduate Programs at New York University's Tisch Institute for Global Sport. Good to see you. And I'm sorry to take you away from the game, but for our international audience, give us some basics on what's happening with Major League Baseball in terms of their global expansion.
The global expansion in baseball is at a fantastic time. Right now, the diversity between the Americas and Asia has been at its utmost highest as we've ever seen. While currently right now, Major League Baseball is 70% from the U.S., it is a large portion of the next level of athletes are coming from Venezuela. They're also coming from the Caribbean countries like Dominican Republic. We're seeing an uptick in athletes who are coming now from South Korea as well as Japan. And so baseball is truly exemplifying itself as a global game.
Look, Shohei Ohtani, we all know, has been setting records, what feels like almost every single week over the past year and a half. And you have to think Major League Baseball is looking towards Asia, to countries for player development. I mean, we all know about South America, right? It's been a huge, huge, huge source of player development. Do you think Shohei's success shows that there is going to be a lot more talent to come in the future?
Shohei Ohtani is the personification of the next level of Major League Baseball players. Not only can he hit, but he can also play in the field. He also can pitch. And so he is an extreme 5-tool player who also can be very active from the mound, the pitching mound. And now when it comes to the global expansion, the country of China has made a major investment on two fronts. China has invested heavily in their classic pitch competition, which is a grassroots program which has been able to work with the Chinese Baseball Association to increase participation of Chinese youth in baseball. And additionally, they have the MLB Cup, which is another collaboration between the MLB and the Chinese Baseball Association and local baseball associations to build baseball across the country. And so as these nuances are happening in China, as they're happening in South Korea, as they're happening in Japan, you're seeing that baseball and MLB are making concerted efforts to build the sport.
Baseball is an interesting sport in the sense that most of us grew up either playing some Little League Baseball or knowing people who played Little League Baseball. And also it's not just the boys too, it's also the girls, right? Because you still have softball and a variety of co-ed opportunities. Whereas in China, they're not exposed to that as much as you and I might be. What can Major League Baseball do to expand that exposure over there, aside from the organizations you just mentioned?
There's two major fronts. I think when it comes to the league has not played international games. So Major League Baseball has not done an international tour of their games for preseason or in-season since 2019. Having actual games in China, Japan, or South Korea would be a major effort towards increasing the involvement of new fans for the sport. Additionally, on the player side, many of the players do not travel to China, Japan, or South Korea to promote endorsements. This is very evident in the NBA with LeBron James. This is very evident in other sports like the NFL that have made many overtures into Europe, into Canada, as well as Mexico. And so with the athletes themselves also joining the efforts along with the league to increase games internationally, I think that could be the key to growing the sport of baseball.
I hope our friends in China and the MLB are listening to you. I will say, in covering a lot of the events that the NBA did in China, the amount of people that would come out just to see the bus, and I wonder how long is it going to take for baseball to catch up?
I'm guessing with these grassroots programming, and then on top of that, you have major investments from Nike, Mizuno, Wilson, SSK, Rawlings, Louisville Slugger. As the brands are starting to push baseball into embracing the global reach of the sport, especially in places like China, Japan, and South Korea, I envision the league will also follow the examples. The NBA has done it. The NFL has done it. NHL has done it to a certain extent as well. And you're seeing that this is a requisite for building the sport. And I believe the MLB will do the right thing.
And Daniel, I feel a little bit bad because we've been focusing on Asia. And of course, we know about the success in the Caribbean and South America. But we rarely ever talk about Europe? What's going on over there?
When it comes to Europe, we're seeing an uptick as well. And so when it comes to baseball, the overtures were there in 2019, first, but COVID-19, of course, became a major deterrent. The belief is that as more sports, the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB start to reopen into Europe, I could see London being a very pivotal spot. But I could also see Germany being another location that could be of access for baseball's expansion.
Yeah, very quickly. Where would you like to see the sport in, say, 5 years? Would you like to see what the NFL did, which is have real exhibition games in London, for example, or everywhere else in the world? And what they've done is really, really amazing, because it was very much a U.S. sport. They've made it very, very international. And to some extent, the NBA has done that as well. Where do you see baseball in 5 years?
Actually, I think a year ago with Tokyo 2020, when baseball reemerged as an Olympic sport, I think the Olympics is the key. And so as the Olympics grows and baseball grows on the Olympic level, I believe baseball will become a global sport. And so the Olympics to me is the key. 5 years from now, we'll get closer to to LA 28, and we'll see the big benefits of baseball being grown and the competition increasing, and of course the grassroots programming aligning for baseball to really reach its peak.
Yeah, really, really cool. So, by the way, as you're talking, you can't see this, but we're rolling video from yesterday's home run contest where Ron with Soto winning. Really, really cool stuff. Thanks for taking time to join us and taking a break from the game. Daniel G. Kelly, the second from the NYU Tisch Institute for Global Sport.